Alright, so I was discussing why in the hell would anybody buy a $62 8-watt version of the upgraded uv5r that they've been selling since about 2014 or 15. And as I said before, I bought one. Back then, I think it was on sale. I might have paid $49 for it. Didn't work right. It didn't put out more than 3 watts, and it seemed like it was transmitting in the wrong area. It was having trouble keying up a repeater that a uv5ra was having no problem putting out. I took it to one of the local repeater guys who lived near me, and he had, at the time, I didn't have anything to test anything on 2 meters. He had bird walk meters with all the slugs and everything. The only thing we didn't have to check it with was the spectrum analyzer. And he was pretty certain that this thing was not transmitting its main power where it was on frequency at. So, anyway, back to Amazon it went, and that was 2015 or 14? 2014, I think. Anyway, it says that they have sold 1,000 of these in 1 month. And what I think it is this scammy-ass B-Tech company. Okay, I don't like this company. B-Tech is responsible for rebranding regular baofeng radios and stuff like that, and they're sponsored by Mickler and Chirp and things like that, and they use that to leverage their sales. But B-Tech was also the one that the FCC went after because they were importing all these radios. So B-Tech was like the largest importer of baofeng radios for really the longest time. And they came out with all sorts of stupid radios like the Terminator, the Obliterator, and all these other weird rebranded TYT radios. And then they came out with their amplifiers and stuff like that. And other than buying this radio from them, this is the only time that I've ever dealt with them. I didn't even bother talking to them or anything. I just returned the radio because it was junk. There was nothing to talk about. This is way overpriced. And it might have a clean transmit. It might have a good receiver. I don't know. Mine didn't work right. And I don't know. There's a lot of better radios that you could, way better radios that you could get for $62 or less. So let's see what those are. What can we find? We can find a lot of really cool stuff on here for a lot less than that piece of crap radio. Trust me. Okay? You could have 4 or 5 radios for the price of that damn thing. So it depends on what you want, but I usually don't tell people to buy the uv5ra or any of the uv5r variants because typically the front end of those radios suffer from overload. And what that means is if you program one of these radios up with all your favorite local repeaters and you put it on the seat of your truck and go drive around, every time you go underneath the stoplight where there's a camera, your squelch is going to open up no matter how high you have it turned up because it just overloads the radio, the front end of the radio. And then if you go put a mag mount on the roof of your car and buy an adapter and hook this radio up to, you're really going to screw it up. And also, if somebody else is on UHF right next to you and you're on VHF and they start talking to somebody else, it will desense this radio to the point where it can't even hear anything. So a lot of people don't talk about that, but yeah, they can't handle it. So I would say, I mean, some of these other ones that look like a uv5r might be better, they might be different, but in general I just think it's best to just do not buy one of these unless you just want to fiddle with it. And you can certainly get something like this for $17 that actually has AM airband. Okay, that $62 thing doesn't have AM airband. You could buy this radio, which is one of the most hacked radios that there is out there. You can get airband, you can program from 18 megahertz to all whatever. Here is another supposed 8-watt version of a uv5r, very, very similar looking to that other particular radio. In fact, it might even be the same one. As we see, the front of it looks the same, but it's labeled differently. So whether or not it's 8 watts or not, I don't know, but you're getting a radio, you're getting a microphone, you're getting an extended antenna, a charger, a programming cable, and a really terrible microphone last time I checked. All for half of the price almost. I don't know. There's a 10% coupon. It wouldn't be a pick of mine either, but it would be better than spending $62 on a radio. You could also buy a really nice TYT UV88 with the programming cable for $32. You know, several pairs of radios could be had. You could buy a talk pod for $28, and that actually radio is $21 if you have Prime. I don't know if it's better than the previous one. That might be another bad radio to buy too. You could buy the Radtel triband radio for $29 with a 10% coupon. I mean, there's so many radios out there that you could buy that are going to be better than that radio. It's just so much money for such a piece of crap. Okay, these ones here, usually, if it looks like this and it's listed on here and it doesn't show that it's capable of 220, I just don't even look at them because they're probably locked. There's probably a UV17L. These talk pods, some of them are okay. They had a problem with them. I don't know if they fixed them all. This Radtel radio here is pretty good. It's like the baofeng BFH6, very similar. I don't think it can be programmed with the same software, but you could get one of these, the new version of that. One of those is supposed to be good, one of them is supposed to be bad. But this is basically the radio that I would like #1 recommend somebody that really just wanted a baofeng is one of these ones, and it comes in a couple of flavors here. You can get the green one. I personally own this one, and it covers 220. It has a extra antenna that covers 220. The antenna is marked a brie, and it says 220 on it. It's a triband antenna. It's like an inch longer than your regular AR 771 or whatever they call that. There's also this radio for a little bit less, but it doesn't come with the triband antenna. It comes with some other shorter version. And these have USB-C charging and all that on them. They have a much better battery. They have 999 memories instead of 125 or 127. You'd have to be absolutely insane to buy that radio for $60. There's also a lot of really good radtel radios out there that are nice quality. Even this one here, I own this one here. I feel like it's overpriced at $59, but it's quality compared to the baofeng. And I haven't tested mine, but other people have said that it puts out about 10 watts. This is a really nice radio. It's kind of a copy of a Motorola, and I really like this radio, but they sent it to me for free. I wouldn't have bought it. Okay. Let me find it. All right. So this is the radio. It is very Motorola-like. It's kind of heavy. It's big. It has a USB-C on the bottom, and it's just really nice. And instead of a stupid flashlight, we have an encoder on the top. The screen is going to be like any of the other ones, where it's probably going to be hard to read outside, but you can pull it back here. You can use the top, or you can use the keypad. But if you're going to spend that kind of money, buy something like this. Buy something that actually feels like quality. That other radio does not feel like quality. It feels like a very overpriced uv5r. If you spend $62 on it, you will be disappointed in the quality. It has the same quality of an $18 uv5r. So if you want a radio like that, just go ahead and do yourself a favor and go get a $15 to $20 uv5r. Don't waste your time on one of these other ones. You could even find, this is another radtel radio. It goes on sale every once in a while for less than this, but way better than that radio. Covers lots of bands. Sounds really good on transmit. Covers the air band. Here's another radio I really don't recommend. This one's locked. But even still, this would be a better choice than that other radio. This is locked to the ham bands, and it has spurs and whatnot. It's not showing me the usual radios. This is one of my favorite radios, the uvk5. You can find variations of this radio for as low as like $17 if you look. Radtel, retevis, K-Sun, they all make versions of this radio. So if we were to go look up the uvk5, we'll probably end up with a whole lot of stuff. But anyway, I wonder why they're not showing us any kind of like super deal. Let's let's look up today's deals. Okay, so you can totally get that radio for 17 bucks, and it's probably gonna overload and do all that. One of these is going to be, it's got 2 antennas. This is a good deal for this radio, I guess. This radio is programmable directly with a Bluetooth app or directly with the USB-C cable, and covers airband and whatnot. I guess it's like smaller than it looks. So that's all of those. Let's go look up this uvk5. I wanted to show you guys this Uh-oh, what did we do? Must have clicked something we were supposed to. uvk5. Okay. So I have this radio. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's a little expensive. It's a little more rugged. It's got metal around it. It can be programmed from the web browser, from a Chrome-based web browser. You can flash custom firmware, and it can receive from 18 megahertz up to like 2 gigahertz. You will have to put a different antenna on it if you expect to hear anything outside of the normal frequencies. Then here is the regular version. Same thing, can be hacked. There's all these other weird ones. I don't know anything about these K99s or whatever. I just know about the quansheng and what they call, I guess, the K58. This was a super deal for the longest time. These 2 damn radios were like 27 bucks. So, but either way, I guess now that they raised the price, it's still only going to be about $21.50. So that would be a really good deal there, especially if you're going to go like do GMRS. You get 2 radios. I'm trying to see if we can find the other ones. We start to see these ones pop up. There's these ones. $32 is it? There's a special board too that can be added to these. I don't know. This is like for like the serious experimenters, and they broadband the thing even further. Camouflage. Batteries are cheap for these things too, 11 bucks. But I mean, like, this is the radio I would get. It has USB-C charging and all that on it too. I'm not seeing the really cheap ones on here, but if you look, you'll spend enough time, you'll eventually find them. I don't know what this one is. We've seen this as kind of a cross between a few different radios. These ones here, I think, are similar but don't include the airband, so I don't see any reason to buy that. It seems kind of silly. Yeah, I guess that's all we're going to see for that, but there are cheaper versions. Maybe if I look really hard, I can find it real quick. Okay, so if you just type in retevis, you'll pull up this. It's the RA79, and this is a uvk5. This is what it is, dude. So unless you really don't like that name, you can get this radio for $10 less than the quansheng variant. Exactly the same. Comes with a USB cable, comes with a charger. One of these versions of this radio, if I look up the other one, the K-Sun, it doesn't come with the charger. I have the K-Sun over here. I have showed you guys it on the channel before, but if you're new to the channel, that one is $23 with a 5% coupon, and it's completely firmware unlockable. Will go 18 megahertz up to like 2 gigahertz. I have that radio. I've had it for a while. I don't know why I bought it. I just bought it because it was cheap. So these are the radios that I recommend that you buy. Okay. Here's this one. This is your regular quansheng. Okay. Get your USB-C here. These I've read how many channels they hold. They're not like, you know, like the baofeng. Picking somebody up. Here's this one. The display on these are a little bit different. I'm running custom firmware so I can monitor 900 megahertz band. But here is the K-Sun version. And they're all pretty much the same. Same battery. I keep hitting the microphone. So that's what I recommend. Don't buy a uv5r. Don't buy a BFH6. You don't need 8 watts up against the side of your head. If you can't get into a repeater with 3 or 4 watts, you're not going to get in with 8. And it's just not healthy. You shouldn't have that kind of RF near your face. So I know there's a lot of radios that are marketed as like 8, 9, 10 watt radios. You know, that's cool, but really, that's not something you should be holding near your face all the time. Anyway, so this one's on here, $23. If you don't like it, I don't really care for it. As I would like, didn't realize this part was going to be missing. I'm like, what? You took off the part that protects the knob if I drop the radio. Now this one, we went and visited the Grand Canyon and dropped it in the middle of the parking lot in the dark. You can see it's a little scratched up. I usually grab this one, and when I drive my car that doesn't have a radio in it, I just take this and I just throw it in the back seat and let it sit there. I don't talk on 2 meters or 440 very often. And what I do is, these are for emergencies in case I'm in an area, because Arizona's pretty spread out. There's lots of places around here where you have no cell phone coverage, and I drive older vehicles. If they break down and I can't call AAA or I can't get help, and it's the middle of the summer and it's 110 degrees, this is serious stuff out here, people. You know, if you watch the news, you'll see idiots are leaving kids in their car. You know, people are dying, you know, from the heat. So if you live in Arizona, you need to be prepared. If you break down on the side of the road and you got young kids and you've got no way to make a phone call, or maybe you're on one of these roads that's somewhere in the middle of somewhere, like you're going out to Monument Valley or something, and nobody might drive by you for hours or whatever, you need a radio so you can call for help. You know, so cell phone coverage is not always there. So something like this is great to have, and because it has the USB-C, you know, you can get in there and figure it out. That's why I like them. I'm not really using them to chat on or talk on. K-Sun has some radtel type of radios that have GPS on them. They're expensive. I can't see any reason to buy them, especially when you'd probably need 2 of them to really utilize the USB function. I own that radio right there. I'm not sure what this one is. Another GPS. Anyway, I like this company. They make some interesting stuff. So see, you can buy that one for 23, buy that one for 27. You know, it's up to you, but definitely just don't buy the damn B-Tech radios. Like, stop making these people rich. This is interesting. This is a K-Sun with 2 antennas on it. It's a network radio. There's some really cool stuff out there, but like, I mean, I don't know. You can't buy it all, right? Can you? So that's enough of my ranting and recommending and talking and whatnot. Thanks for watching. If you need a link to it, to let me know. I'll try and add one later.